We're back.
We are back. It's been like all the days. Welcome back to No Crime After Dark, where we have to talk about crime in the daytime because she's scary.
It's getting a little dark.
Huh?
It's getting a little dark outside.
It is getting, for you, it's getting a little dark. It's still sunshiny out here for me. Y'all gonna see how scary she is. This one ain't as bad though, I don't think, in terms of her scariness. So where did we last leave off? What was the last video? It's been so long.
Bonnie and
it was Bonnie in the crazy side chick.
Yeah.
And I'm still team Bonnie. Don't care. All day, every day.
Not Bonnie. Francis.
I am team Bonnie. Francis.
Bonnie was the mistress.
Oh, scratch that, y'all. It's been 2 weeks, y'all. Y'all got to work with me here. I done had to move and some more shit since then. But Francis, I'm team Francis.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, go see it. It's worth the shot. I don't know what's going on with her camera, y'all. She's stalling. It's still doing it. And I don't know why. We're just gonna roll with it.
Okay.
So today we are going to be talking about Robert Hawkins.
Yes.
AKA Robbie. Before we get into that though, shout out to my mom for my shirt. Just wanted to put that out there because I know she's gonna watch it. I like murder shows.
Mary, I need one too.
You're that mom, she need one too. I like murder shows, comfy clothes, and maybe 3 people. Yeah. This shirt is extremely accurate about my personality. But we're gonna talk about Robert Hawkins. I picked this story this time because it was kind of close to home. We had an Omaha episode, but I accidentally deleted it, so you guys will never see that. About the roommates from hell. So This is another Omaha one. If you were around in 2007, you definitely remember it because it was random as ever. Like this ring light in my glasses is stressing me out. So anyway, we're going to talk about Robbie. Crazy ass Robbie. So Robbie was born May 17th, 1988 to Ron Hawkins. They never specified his birth mother's information. They didn't even actually go into a whole lot of detail as to why his parents divorced. They divorced and Ron remarried. And when he remarried, he married Candace. My assumption is he couldn't have been no more than 3? Because again, they didn't specify how old he was when they got together. So he might have been 3 when they got together.
Yeah, because she said he was a young child.
He was just a little cute little something. So he was described as a very bright child. He was happy. Just normal kid stuff. She was like, you could give him a toy race car and he'd just find something amazing to do with it, tie it to a balloon and play with his little war toy soldiers or whatever. So, I mean, he seemed like a normal kid till one day at KinderCare, he hit somebody with a chair.
The baby used to go to KinderCare. Not that KinderCare.
I'm just glad it wasn't your baby, because
no. But yeah, he went to KinderCare.
He went to KinderCare, and he had already been a problem prior to that. Apparently, he was hitting, kicking, biting, which I think in some cases is, I wouldn't say normal child behavior at that age, but it's not like unheard of.
Right.
But the school had just finally had it because this particular day he just going through the KinderCare hitting kids with chairs. And they called Ron and they called Candace and was like, hey, he gotta go. He putting the other kids in danger. So they take him out of KinderCare. And they did take him to a therapist. And what I do like about this story is they did try. They really did try throughout his life. They did try. It wasn't one of those situations where the parents is, oh, I didn't know. And he was just a teenager. And no, they really did put forth the effort to try to get him some help. Anyhow, After the incident at KinderCare, they put him in therapy, and they ended up
4.
He's 4.
He's 4 in the therapy.
He's 4. They ended up having to put him in an institution.
Mm-hmm.
And he stayed there. She said she didn't remember how long, and I can imagine the trauma messed her up. But she says she can't remember how long, and this is Candace when I say she, how long he had been in there, but she does know that when he came out, he was no longer angry, but he
not
was
happy,
emotionless. Like he just, there was nothing. So things were normal for a while. He's a normal.
Well, as normal as they can get it.
Yeah. Well, the way she explained it though was like nothing major happened between that time and him becoming a teenager. So I mean, for the most part, everything was cool. Now, fast forward, because you know we like to pick stories that don't give us a whole lot of information. Pisses me off. So he's going to school, he's being a kid, he's doing his things, and as he approaches his teenage years, Candace starts to notice he's kind of reverting back to that behavior and that attitude.
But that all his behavior was towards her. She was saying like his behavior was always aggressive to me rather than his dad. It was more of a mouthy situation with his dad, but aggressive to her, like pulling her arm, you know, snatching her ass or pinning her up. Aggressive.
And she stated like he's older, he's bigger, he's a boy, he's stronger.
Right. Yeah.
So she's kind of keeping a side eye to him because
she's scared of her house.
Don't know. Yeah, she said she was scared.
Yeah.
So the first big incident after he started reverting back to his angry self, she's outside. Candace is outside mowing the lawn. It's hot. It's Omaha, hot as hell, probably. Yeah. And you wrong for laughing. And she asked somebody to bring her a soda. Robbie brings her a soda. She takes a chug of the soda. Now, this is what blew me because she was like, well, maybe the pack of soda went bad. I've never heard of a pack of soda going bad. Flat, maybe, but not bad.
Like, I'm already scared of this kid that doesn't interact with me and that's aggressive. Like, I don't want you to bring me a soda. Ron, bring me a soda. Not Robbie. Ron, bring me a soda. I can't even ask Robbie to cut the grass because I'm outside cutting the grass. So I know I don't want that boy to bring me no damn soda. I don't want a soda from you. No.
So Robbie brought her the funny taste of soda. So she took one big chug and like, this is a little different. Then she took another chug. I don't think I'm going to keep drinking this. I would have stopped after the first time. But anyway.
Yeah, because when you want a soda, you want something that, like that sizzle. So if it's not good the first time, you don't want it again. I don't want this. It's flat. I don't want this.
Like I don't want no flat soda that you just brought me. Like, why is it already flat? That's my concern right there.
Yeah. Also, you cutting the grass. Why you didn't ask for no water?
So a few hours later, she gets sick because it was funny tasting. And they end up finding out after he realized she wasn't going to go to the hospital or anything, seek any treatment. Robbie finally lets out, first she said he put a chemical in it. Yeah. Then she specified he put pesticide in her soda and then laughed.
Yeah.
He said, I put pesticide in there.
You didn't die. You okay. You're here at the dinner table.
You fine. You ain't dead. I don't see what the problem is. Because naturally she's pissed off. But he didn't see what the problem was. And like I said, I would have been even more mad because I'm sure they said that. I'm sure that was in the summertime because ain't nobody mowing their lawn in Omaha in the fall or the winter. So it had to be spring or summer. So it was probably hot as fuck. So I'm not even getting my thirst quenched. But now I'm sick. Like, I'd have just been extra pissed off.
And then it's funny. And I don't like nobody.
And that's what would have did it for me. He would have had to go with his mama after that. Like, I'm not even finna shine. I don't know where his mama was at and what she was doing. But after I find out that you tried to kill me because that's how I'm taking it. And that's what he was trying to do ultimately.
Yeah.
You got to go stay with your mama, not in the house I'm paying bills in.
And then I know the dad wanted to see the best of him, but the dad like saying, well, I thought it was a prank. And I was like, oh, it was just a prank. Like, get over. No, that's not a prank.
Ain't nothing funny about putting no type of poison, because that's what it is, in somebody's drink.
Trying to trip somebody, it could be a prank. But trying to kill someone, that ain't no fucking prank.
I mean, I might put some dish soap in your drink.
I'm not putting in a drink.
But I'm saying, like, dish soap, you don't know it's soap and you're likely to not even swallow it.
I'm not about to try to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not funny.
I got accused of trying to kill somebody once.
Okay, moving on. The dad thought it was a prank and it was not funny. That's what I wrote.
I didn't try to kill nobody, y'all, but
I would have been pissed.
She said I tried to put bleach in her water. That's another conversation. But I did not do it. It was not me. So I don't know if it was in there or not. It just wasn't me. Anyhow, now she really got a side eye to him.
Yeah. She's not safe. She don't feel safe. She don't feel secure. She don't feel like nobody got her back. Because the husband think it's a prank. And I don't think it's fucking funny.
And again, you want to see the best in your child, but there's just some stuff. It's a major red flag. And that was one of those things. Yeah. The next thing, and they don't give us like a timeline for when these things happen. This is just like the major stuff. But he was always combative with her. He was constantly making threats towards her. Like, had told her multiple times he would kill her. Like, if you tell her to do anything else, you say anything else to me type situation, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So the next incident, Candace has suspected him of stealing money
from the sister.
The sister was waiting tables somewhere and she was saving up her tips like most waiters and waitresses do. And she confronted him about it. And apparently the money, she suspected it to be in his backpack. So she's like, give me the backpack because I know you've been taking this money. Of course, Robbie's not finna give her the backpack. He already don't like you. So he's definitely not finna give you his backpack.
Right.
So they're tussling over the backpack, and eventually she's able to get it away from him, or in the process of tussling, her wedding ring cut his face.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the wedding ring cut his face. So he threatened to kill her again. But this time he won't
touch me. I'm gonna kill you. You touch me again, I'll kill you.
It's not funny. Because I just don't see after the pesticide, he'd have been gone. So that's just, I feel like that's where the story would have ended for me. But he goes to school the next day and tells his friends and teachers and whoever's willing to listen. Yeah, whoever's willing to listen, that she's been abusing him, and that's how he got the cut on his face, which was a crock of crap. So, but naturally, the school has to investigate it. So they call her down, call Ron down. And they give them the full explanation, like, this is what was going on. This is what happened in the tussle. Me trying to get the backpack from him. My hand got loose, my ring scratched his face. Like, it wasn't anything intentional. But then the school is like, all right, that makes sense, but we want to make you aware of something else.
Yeah.
And apparently he had told some friends this same day that the only way Candace was going to make it out of the house the next day was in a body bag, because he planned to stab her to death in her sleep that night. You are not staying in my house. It's not happening. My husband ain't threatened me like that.
Right. You're determined. You're determined to hurt Candace, and we would have been taking. We'd have to be shooting it out then, because listen,
straight bullets.
You and me, brother. Pew pew.
Pew pew. Because every time I hear your footsteps, I'm grabbing the Glock. I don't care.
Right. That boy gonna be in that room with a lock on his door from the outside.
No, he wouldn't be in my house. He would have to break in to kill me, because he wouldn't be living there.
I feel like the option was never for him to, like, her or Ron, her the daddy, never I can't say Ron's name without thinking about Ron. Candace or Ron, the daddy, never say anything about him going to live with the grandma or the mama or the mama's mama.
Like there was no other option.
There was like no other family. Like Ron and Candace was the only option. So I just didn't understand. Maybe the lady was dead. I mean, I don't know what happened to his mom, and I don't know.
I tell you what, she probably gonna be like Jeffrey Dahmer, and we're never gonna know her name, where she lives, or anything.
And why his anger was towards the woman, Candace.
Well, she explained that she feels like, especially when he got out the first time, when that
it was her fault.
Like, it was her fault. It was her sending him away. And he felt like, she thinks he felt like if he could get rid of her, she left, whatever, his mom and dad could get back together and he could have the family he wanted, which is highly possible. So anyhow, after this incident with the scratching of the face, they get in contact with his therapist. Again, I commend them because they kept him in therapy. Like they saw the problem. They at least tried to do something. Like, I'm talking shit about them not putting them out, but they did try to get the boy some help. So they call his therapist, like, look, this is what he did. This is what he's saying he's gonna do. And therapist straight up
they went through his stuff, and in the dresser it was carved.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
that's what made them call the therapist, because now he's carving in the dresser, kill her, you know, she's dead, kill, whatever it is. And there's a whole bunch of like little pocket knives in his dresser. He was collecting them. So that's what made them like, okay.
I can bet money he was killing cats on the side.
Yeah, he probably killing all kind of shit.
Just everything about his behavior gives he was killing random animals. Yeah, like it just, they never said it, but I can guarantee with the collection of pocket knives, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, sitting there is funny and that's sick.
Yeah. Now, and not to say that it's okay. I don't think the stealing is as bad, just because that's something that could have been corrected if he wasn't so damn violent.
Yeah. Like, don't be stealing your sister's money. You know?
Yeah, like definitely address it. But
don't steal your sister's money and then carve your dresser to kill her. Who are you talking to?
And see, I'll be dead because I'm finna ask who was her?
Who is her?
That's who you finna kill. Who was her?
I don't know nobody live in this house you gonna kill. Who does this go?
Not on my watch.
Touch me again and I'll kill you. And I would touch his ass and see what he's gonna do. Don't tell me, Robbie. Because Robbie about to get messed up. Don't try me. Supercalifragilistic. You better say that safe word, because you about to get towed up.
Girl. So they contact the therapist. And the therapist said, get him out of there. Get him the fuck up out of there. It's not a safe environment for nobody there, maybe except him. And I don't even know if it's safe for him. Right. So they sent him off for the second time. And this time he stayed gone for a minute. He was in there for 5 years.
Yeah, he was only coming home
on weekend visits.
Weekends. Right.
Actually, no, she said he never came to the house. They went to go visit him.
Yeah.
So that's the only time they saw him was on weekend visits. So that puts him at what, 12 when he went in? Because they said,
she said he never came back to live. He only came back to visit. He never came back to stay to live. He only came ever to visit.
Yeah.
He was in a group home.
Yeah, he was in a group home. He was probably, I can think of a couple places he's probably at Boys Town, but ain't no telling. It was
the dad,
Boys Town.
Ron felt terrible. The dad felt terrible. He didn't want. He seen his son getting worse and not better, but he knew that he couldn't have him at home.
And while in the group home, because I guess it's routine for them to draw, or at least at that time, to draw their emotions and what they're feeling. And this is what's sad, because his dad said Candace said it. He was actually a really good drawer. He was really good at drawing. But bro was drawing pictures of him killing his mom, his stepmom.
Not me coming to visit you with your daddy weekend, and then I get in this visit, and you got a picture of me stabbed to death.
Stabbed to death or with a noose around my neck. Like, can we put those skills to better use?
Yeah, Ron would have been going by himself to visit his son.
So over the 5 years that he's there, with therapy and counseling, I'm sure, because he's in a group home for mental issues, essentially. They're trying to get him to understand and take accountability for the threats and all of that stuff. Like, it's not okay to threaten to kill people. It's not okay to draw pictures of said people as if they're dead. This one lock is stressing me out. Sorry. That's what I keep doing. That lock is working me. So they're having countless sessions, and Robbie's saying he's sorry, but he's not genuine. They can tell it's not a genuine "I'm sorry."
It's just he knows he needs to say it.
Yeah, he's just saying what needs to be said to get out.
Yeah.
Get
his visit for the weekend. I don't know.
So this goes on over the course of 5 years. He never shows that he's genuine, that he's sorry about anything. I just want to get up out of here is really what it is.
Visitation got worse. Conversations just got worse.
And he continued to blame Candace for everything. And I feel like they didn't say he said it, but I feel like he said he was never coming home unless she was gone, which is what led her to the decision of filing for divorce. Because she felt like he needed to come home. And he probably wanted to be home. But the only way he was going to come back if she was not in the house. So she files for divorce. Her and Ron divorce. And shortly thereafter, sure enough, Robbie moves back in. He seems to be doing okay. His dad gives him your typical 17-year-old rules and regulations. You got a curfew. You're not finna be drinking and doing drugs. You're not finna be up all night. You're going to do this. You like just typical guidance is really what it sounded like to me for a 17-year-old. Robbie turns 18. He gets him a job. He gets him a girlfriend, and he moves out. And like his dad said, he had high hopes for Robbie, but you still don't expect too much because of his track record. But he still hoped eventually, and he said he hoped that eventually he might be able to help some other kids that are going through the same and having the same problems, and he can kind of counsel them like, hey, I went through the same thing. And this is what I like, basically be a mentor to other kids.
Yeah, he mentor, all right.
He was working, he was doing good.
Yeah. Well, good for him.
No, good for him. At least for that brief period of time, it seemed like he was trying. Again, there's not a lot of detail. We just know he moved out, he was working, and he had a girlfriend.
Right. And then one day, that's just it. That's how it went. One day, Candace got a phone call.
December 5th, 2007. Again, this is Omaha, so I know where this happened, the size of the there's some damage, because that's a department store. Von Maur is like Macy's, essentially. So they had, for that one store, 2 or 3 different floors. Buddy did damage. He did damage. Von Maur is out of business now. Don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
I never even heard of this store. I have to Google it.
Actually, is Von Maur out of business? Let me shut up. They might not be. Let me not put nothing on them. But anyway, he's at West Rose Mall in West Omaha in Nebraska. And Candace gets a call from her daughter asking, like, have you seen the news? Have you seen what's going on? And she's like, what are you talking about? Turns on the TV, whatever she does, and she sees what's going on. And the sister, right out the gate, was like, you don't think that's Robbie, do you? And even I wouldn't assume it was one of my relatives right away. Right? I have some crazy people I'm related to. My mind would not go there. And she's like, no, like, why would you think it's Robbie?
I think that, right.
Yeah. So at this same time, Ron is not far from the mall. They said he said he was down the street. So the daughter calls the dad, same thing, like, have you seen what's going on? Have you heard what's going on? Do you think it's Robbie? So dad beeline straight to the mall. He goes to the police and he's like, I was just hoping they were telling me I'm being the paranoid dad. Go on about your day. You ain't got nothing to worry about. So he asked them, they asked for his ID. The police officer takes his ID. Now that would have pissed me off because you could at least brought me my shit back. They take his ID, walk off, and they never come back. They don't come back at all to say yes, no, maybe so, nothing. They just took his ID and walked away. How the dad found out was the daughter called back screaming and crying, like just in a panic. It was Robbie. Robbie did the shooting. They didn't come back and tell the dad, if I remember correctly, because I cut it off because we had to record. But if I remember correctly, they didn't come back and tell him till after Robbie killed himself.
Yeah. Until they were able to identify.
After I just told you that might be my son.
And after he didn't kill himself.
The crazy part, like I was telling you, I have an aunt that was actually working in the mall at that store the day it happened. She's behind the counter.
Low to the ground, I hope.
And my thing is, I think she still went back to the mall the following year to do seasonal work. She's a real one. Because there's no way.
I can't say that because, I guess as you live through it, because, I still send DJ to school and there's school shootings every once a month.
I mean, but it ain't at his school. But that's just like when you was working at that one nursing home and he came in and did what he did and you went back to work like the next day or a couple days later. I just don't see it.
I can't neglect them. Oh, I love old people.
But find some old people in another nursing home. You didn't have to go back to that one.
They can come shoot up that one too. Shit. People have financial trouble. But that he didn't come there shooting all of us. He shot who he needed to shoot.
Okay, that's still traumatic enough for me. Like, period.
Yeah, no, it was really bad.
That's traumatic as hell.
Yeah, no, that
because I remember you like texting me and then talking to you, and I'm just like, wait, whoa, we might need to cover that one because that was random as hell.
Then it was like, are you okay? I was like, no, like what the like? It was too much. But yeah,
that's different. I could like imagine being on your way to your lunch break.
I was on my way home to clock out.
Oh yeah, you were leaving for the day.
It was second shift was coming in. I was leaving that mother.
You didn't leave fast enough.
I didn't.
None of this is funny though. Again, you got to be a special type of person to watch this channel. Anyway. But Robbie went to the Westroads Mall in Von Mar and caused havoc. Did you get the body count? Like I said, I cut it off.
I think it was 17 people.
I was about to say 18 or 19.
I think it was 7. Well, maybe he was 18 person.
I think he would have made 18.
Yeah, I think he made 18. Yeah.
So 18 people total, himself included, were killed in this shooting. Now, here's where it gets interesting, or I'm not gonna say interesting, weird for me.
He shot and killed 8 people, wounded 4 others.
Okay, so 9 people, including him,
before committing suicide,
were killed. Okay.
He shoot himself in the head with the whatever the AR-15.
No, they said it is my understanding he had multiple guns under that outfit. It wasn't just the AR. Because like he was unloading clips and reloading. Or pulling out another one. It wasn't just one gun. To my from what I can recall.
It only last 6 minutes.
He did a lot of damage in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I think he hit both. I want to say it's 2 levels in Von Mar, and I think he hit both levels. Like he hit the main floor because that's how he came in, and then he went upstairs and caused even more carnage. Now the story that was told then, and they don't touch on it in the documentary. Again, our source is Discovery Plus. Most of what we talk about comes from Discovery Plus.
Right.
But it's on, what is it? Evil Lives Here, season 1, episode 1. If you want to watch it for yourself. They don't go into detail as to why he did it. There was a lot of different stories. So the story I originally heard was he got fired from his job. McDonald's specifically is what I heard. He got fired from his job not long after his girlfriend broke up with him. And they said that that's what triggered him to go into the mall.
Oh, well, I mean, that would trigger him. He already has a problem.
Ty.
I mean,
I lost my whole son. I didn't go in the mall shooting people.
But you don't have a prior problem. He has a prior problem of violence.
It's debatable whether or not I have a prior problem, but okay.
Yeah, okay, that can be true. But you ain't never test Mary and Jim, so I'm just saying.
I still won't. Smooth 38. I still won't.
Mary. Let Mary put her hands on you and you say to her, you touch me again and I'm going to kill you. And we going to say, Saida, here lies Saida. If Mary touched her again, she was going to kill her. Okay.
Those were her last words.
Okay. Jim is laughing. Jim laughing. Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm about to say, not you and Toya in the road, just this bitch.
I don't know what she was doing.
Why would she say that to her mama?
We would never encourage that behavior, Mary. Encourage some.
We told her not to tell you that. We told
and Jim know me and Saida done did some stuff. But Jim know I ain't tell no crap like that. He know I ain't tell no crap like that. I ain't telling him no crap like that.
I couldn't have threatened my mom like that and my dad let it ride. If we gonna be honest. If I'd have ever told my mom I was gonna pull her and she touched me again, Jim might have did the murder. I don't know. That's just the way my parents was set up. Like, you're not finna disrespect your mama in front of me. Like, that's what you're not gonna do.
Yeah, no.
But that was the story they told. After watching the documentary, I don't think that's it. Bottom line, like you said, he had illness issues.
Yeah. I feel like that's what probably triggered it at that moment. Like, I'm about to blow up. I'm about to go. That's probably what triggered it, but his behavior prior
was already very irrational and sporadic.
Where that was what, yeah. But no, I don't know about that. Something's wrong. But those, I was gonna say, like those type of boys, like you said, Ron and Candace did their best with trying to get him help. Mm-hmm. Like we've watched a lot of shows, and these parents be like,
they make excuses.
For instance, the little boy that down the street. From where I live now. Yeah. The mama in the court, it was documented. See a psychiatrist. Take him to see. The mama never did. Why? Why? So it just, you see the problem with your child, fix your child. You love your child. And no, you don't want to see your child be like, he has to go to therapy or he's a little off. No, get him help before he hurts somebody.
I'm gonna say this,
like autism. It's off like he's hurting.
And it could, and that's the thing, that he was diagnosed with a bunch of stuff. They said ADD, ADHD. What was the other one? PTSD. That was what it was. PTSD. They had him on and off medication, which probably didn't help because that could cause a chemical imbalance. So they had him on and off medication throughout his life. We got to remember he was 18 when he offed himself. This is at least, we would say, 10 or 15 years of his life that he was on and off of different types of medication. And I'm the biggest advocate that I just feel like some of that shit ain't good for you. It's just not.
No.
And I've heard people that have taken certain meds and just like, I don't like how it makes me feel. It just makes me feel real groggy. Like, and that's why a lot of people stop taking it. In some cases, you need to keep on. And this
in a person that's violent, I'd rather you be sleepy and groggy than to be out here beating motherfuckers up or shooting people. Like, no, take your medication. But if something like it just makes you, I don't know, something like you're just hyper. Be hyper. Who cares? Go in the backyard and hype your ass all around. I don't care. But hitting people, violence on people, that's not you. I would rather have you sleep than to sit around here threatening people like a little boy.
But they couldn't force it down his throat, though.
Say what?
They couldn't force it down his throat.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not saying that. No, it's not the parents' fault. I mean, you get older and you can't control that. I'm just saying that's something that I would want my son to be on if I can control it. And now if he leave the house and go get a girlfriend and move out and do whatever, what I'm gonna do? Yeah. But I'm gonna put it like a pedophile.
But I feel like even in the house you can't.
He need to be on a list, like a pedophile on a list. Danger to society. Put that on a list.
I feel like even in the house before he moved out, they wouldn't have been able to control it. And even the facility, because he was in a group home for 5 years, they can't really control it. Unless they like checking your mouth and under your tongue after they get to you.
You better break that shit down, put it in like you doing heroin, and stab it in his goddamn. Make it do what it do. You won't be in this motherfucking killing me. I'm sorry.
I really hate how your camera is active. It's
like normal to me.
No, for me it's stalling, so I'm hoping when I upload it, it's not doing that. But yeah, RIP to Robbie. I think this is a good example of like
Robbie, Beverly, Janet, Gary, John, another Gary, Angie, Diane, and Maggie.
Okay.
Them people too.
All of them too. I was gonna get to it, but you had their names. Them too.
Them too.
I think this is a very good example of actually, because everybody claims something's wrong with their mental health, and they use that as an excuse for the things that they do. He really had some mental health issues, and they really tried to get him some help. They really, really did. And the unfortunate part about therapy is if you don't work it, it's not going to work. And he obviously did not see anything wrong. I feel like he was a sociopath. They never said it, but I think that's what it was.
It was just like his normal, right? He just felt like
he was this way. He had friends, so he couldn't have just been weird to everybody. So
and he was smarter than everybody else, and I know what I'm doing. I'm right, you're wrong. Like, it was his behavior, and that was just it.
It gives sociopath and narcissist. That's what it gives. Yeah. Because it's everybody's fault but his own. The reason I'm acting like this is because my stepmom won't leave, or my stepmom did this, or my stepmom said that.
McDonald's fired me. I was happy to quit McDonald's. I worked there one day and I was gone.
First of all, I think I lasted like 2 weeks.
Oh Lord,
maybe please. I was there long enough to get one. I do know that.
Anybody that works at McDonald's,
more power to you. You are the real MVP. If you've been at McDonald's more than 6 months, you are the real MVP.
You made it, girl. I made it through orientation. My first training day, I said, I'm out of here. I won't be back tomorrow. Don't you worry about it. Then they called for their uniform, and I said, I wish that if I would bring your
They
uniform.
gave me my uniform and stuff my first day. Like I said, I think I may have lasted 2 weeks because I was in high school, so I only worked like 3 or 4 days out the week.
Lord.
I worked there long enough to get a paycheck, a full one. I know that. But it didn't last past that because I got a job offer somewhere else.
Yeah,
I didn't go back to McDonald's. I just went to the other job.
I didn't have another job. I didn't have nothing, but I knew I was going back to McDonald's.
That was my first W-4 job. That was my very first W-4 job.
No. But yeah, that was Rob. And I can't blame the parents. I can't.
No, they really tried. They really tried.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer's stepmama said, you don't love the sin, but you love the sinner. And that's their baby.
Yeah.
You don't. It's their child. I mean, you can't. I don't know what he does, but he's still my child. And
especially Ron. Mm-hmm. Especially Ron. Yeah.
And I mean, Candace wasn't like, oh, I hate him. She was sitting there talking like, she was like it was sad for her. Like
the way they started it off, she was like, I didn't want to talk about it when y'all called and asked me, and I don't want to talk about it now.
Yeah, she was like, she didn't look like she wanted to talk about it. And what she gave, nothing she said from her point of view, maybe, she could have been just acting, but she wasn't angry.
She loved that boy.
She wasn't
around when she was 3-4 years old. She loved that boy.
Yeah. And it is. Your children are just messed up. They did what they could. I don't know.
As a
So
parent,
talk,
I'm about to say, as a parent, you raise them as best as you can, but once they get out in that world, there's really nothing you can do about it. You just gotta hope they take what you taught them and do right, and that's all. As a parent, that's all you can do.
And it's not like they never helped him with therapy, so he knew, therapy, medicine, the steps that you need to take to keep your mind right, and you chose not to. Your girlfriend breaking up with you was a trigger. You should have went and talked to your therapist or your psychiatrist or whatever. But instead, he said, "I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna do this."
And before I get to our outro,
okay,
I say this all the time, but now I have a platform, so I'm gonna say it again. If you feel like you gonna kill yourself when you done, just skip yourself and just gonna get to it.
Don't kill nobody else.
Like people that go literally the term postal, people that go just these mass shootings and then you kill yourself in the end. Just get to you.
Then I was like, is it the fame that they want or the attention?
It can't be the attention because you killed yourself. So how are you garnishing anything?
Just stand on the bridge. The news will come, and be like, "Oh, a man's on the bridge. Now you got our attention. We're watching," and then jump. Don't go and take. I mean, that probably.
I hope we don't get flagged for this. I just thought that after you said it.
Okay, that sounds bad, but don't take your anger on everybody else.
There you go.
Go to your therapist. Go to your therapist. Call your therapist.
So that's pretty much it with that story. It's sad. Again, we be laughing, but it's really sad because he clearly had some really deep-rooted issues, and they did try to get him help, and it didn't work. Y'all gonna have to excuse us this episode. Her camera stalling.
Hopefully it doesn't do that when you.
She got a bonnet on. I'm hoping it don't do that when I download it. I just moved into a new place. My lighting ain't all the way set up because I moved everything but didn't bring a chair, so I have nowhere to sit. So I had to make a makeshift area.
She didn't have a pen. She didn't have a pen.
I didn't have a pen. I found the pen.
I was saying you barely had a pen. You barely had the pen.
I had to dig through like 4 old purses to find a pen. But we usually do better quality. We don't really be doing too much, nothing too raggedy. Mike gonna be back next week. Don't worry yourselves. I know y'all probably trying to wonder where Mike go. He gonna be there next week. He gonna be there.
My bonnet to be off next week too. I just trying something new, and I'm not too sure.
And forgot we was recording. Like we didn't talk about yesterday and today.
I did. I forgot. So right there, watch my show like.
But as always, check us out everywhere. Instagram, No Crime After Dark _podcast. Facebook, we have a like page as well as a group page, No Crime After Dark for both of them. Excuse me. Twitter, X Crime After Dark. TikTok, No Crime After Dark. It's not hard to find us. It just really isn't. It's not hard to find us if you want to look. But I apologize because it was me. I apologize for our absence the last couple of weeks for the
I was on vacation 1 week, and then
you still was willing to record though.
Yeah,
and I was like, we can wait.
Yeah, you had attitude.
Yeah, I had a lot going on. But we back and we're gonna get back on our game. DJ is on summer vacation, but he's sick right now, so we still have to wait for her social media training.
DJ 101.
You're right, DJ 101. But back on it, reels are about to start being consistent again. We're gonna hit y'all every Thursday, same thing. As I've said before, don't hold me to a time on Thursday because I do still get up and go to work every day. So it'll be posted on Thursday. You can definitely look forward to that. I try to have it posted as early in the day as possible for those that like to listen to podcasts. They can listen to it while they're at work, whatever. So I do try and get it up there as early as possible, but it depends. Also, I'm sorry. We will be changing our platform. I did not tell you this. We're going to be going through Spotify moving forward.
Okay.
One, because it's just easier and I can attach it to what we already have with Spreaker. But you can still catch us, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and on Spreaker. If you just want to listen to the audio of it and do the podcast thing, we're still there. But starting from this episode forward, you can definitely catch everything on Spotify. And I got to play with that a little bit to see how many other platforms I can get it to. But other than that, we back.
Yeah.
It seemed like forever. And it was really only 2 weeks.
It really was. But it doesn't like
we only missed 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah. But it felt like forever.
It did feel like forever because we had gotten the swing of it. But you got anything to say?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, until next time. I holla.